This has been my first full year of being a content creator on this platform. I'd rank the experience as a 6 out of 10. It has its times of being fun, but creative problems from time to time can be very straining and soul-wrenching. But honestly, there have been worse experiences in my life. Probably. Still, I felt like doing a fun send-off to this year, and so I figured talking about a bunch of things about this channel, and some teasers of things to come, would be something you all would appreciate. Consider it my gift to you, albeit a bit short. With that said, let's start by looking at the past, and cover some of the videos I felt especially interested in, and some projects I previously talked about which never came to be, then maybe end off with a pretty big reveal. With that said, let's get into it. I figured it would be fun to start with talking about my least popular video which released this year, which was actually my April Fool's Day video, which, can't say it doesn't make sense here. This video was probably my most rushed video ever. At the time, I was incorporating iZombie into Garden Rush, which resulted in its delay, by the way, and eventually got canned, and this was simply a quick slappy video I could get out in time, so I was focusing more on GR development at the period. The video with the most views is actually the best video, the State of Power Creep in PvZ2. This video took a while to make, but I absolutely think was well spent. It had an interesting message, talked in depth about a relatively interesting topic, and ended with probably the best explanation of why leveling sucks I could muster. That ending section to me is probably the most well-edited thing I've ever done, and I am super glad with how it came out. You'll notice though that my video output has, to put it lightly, dramatically fell off the face of the planet, which is not really surprising to me. To be frank here, near the start of the year I was probably overworking myself. By the time I was finishing one script, I was editing it the same day. And in fact, I was often writing part of a script while editing and recording that exact same video. It wasn't very fun, and it got me worn out fast. And needless to say, these days I don't exactly do that. And I won't simply crank a video out even if I don't like the script all too much, which cannot be said for a few of these videos at all. I don't think you can blame me for not wanting to follow through with a script I don't necessarily agree with. However, I do think these videos generally became better and well made as time went on. My earlier videos had some absolute hits, mind you, but I think this year has had some absolute banger videos I am still extremely happy about. And when I do move on from doing YouTube stuff, I will be glad I had the chance to create these. With that said, there are two videos in particular I want to talk about here, because I think they are probably my most controversial, Blow That Truly Blows, and Zombiesium Can't Be a World. Blow That Truly Blows was a video I created with the express purpose of testing a more exaggerated style. Mostly due to the fact the subject matter wasn't exactly interesting, nor did I really have a way to make it interesting. Like, look at his intro. It's been a while since I've covered a plant I actually, genuinely despise. A plant that makes me upset to see it fundamentally just simply exist, and I feel the need to complain about it. Hard. I play it up here, relative to my, admittedly, poor recording skills, quite a lot. Simply because, to be blunt, the reasons I don't like Blover are just sort of uninteresting. Blover instantly kills big threats and with the right plans becomes completely overpowered, and avoids just down a bunch of relatively arbitrary zombies, in terms of gameplay what they do. And I went out of my way to separate these issues by making Blover Prime, which, for the record, was a joke title I thought was funny. Y'all fell for it. Anyways, this video just kinda became nothing, and I agree. I don't like the style much at all, so I never really pushed the same thing again, which, needless to say, don't think anyone is complaining about that one, mate. The Zombiesium should also be brought up here. This video is one I actually do like and still stand by, but I can fully understand people not liking, mostly because I realize the video is mostly negative. I also got something hugely wrong here I felt the need to correct. Shield zombies do work, but they are dumb and stupid. They work in specifically a trio, which I did not realize. I don't think this makes shield zombies good. The inability to spawn them singularly means that they just don't do that much either way. Like, most catapults have splash so they can ignore the armor anyways. And they are still just HP, but it is something I did get wrong, so oops. I think overall this video suffers from being incorrectly titled. Realistically, Zombiesium cannot disprove Rome as a world, because it is an LTE pretending to be a world, and the only part of that specifically relating to Rome's problems are the missing gimmick, the music, and the zombies. I do think the music section is solid, but I will be blunt, I think the music being bad is kinda self-explanatory. Not to downplay the jazz here, they did great, and having someone who knows what they're talking about is better than I do. I do stand by the zombies being bad though. Though I do see some people defend zombies in this one from time to time. I will stand by what I said, but I do understand it. Some people consider Medusa an alternate Trug in a way it spawns with a grid item, for instance. Although zombies like Shield Zombie are fine because previous worlds have had special similar, which is completely fair. Multiple people can come to the opposite conclusions to things. I will also fully admit my judgment is clouded, because I have never actually seen a good Rome world, but I've seen plenty of questionable and bad ones, so I should point that out. But the wait between this and my next video was a little long. Almost as if there was a video that was supposed to be in between these that I had totally ditched at this point, and hey look at that, it's a completely new script that was fully written and finished near the start of November. Damn. There's 3 major videos that got somewhere in development before being canned, cancelled, or pushed back significantly. These 3 videos are the main reason development of stuff has died pretty hard recently, and so I think talking about these 3 videos will be pretty worth looking at. These videos aren't dead forever, but they are dead for the time being, and may not ever return. And some of these are functionally either done or mostly done, including the Zomboss video. I wanted to do a video on Zomboss, and even went out of my way to record footage of every single mainline PvZ2 Zomboss fight, and actually completed a large chunk of Reflourished to collect additional Zomboss footage that I didn't have otherwise. The script was done, footage was collected, but for the last second I decided I didn't like the script for one reason or another. For the Zomboss fight in particular, my main 2 videos were my perspective screwing a video up. Making a video like this doesn't make sense when I am not at all the main audience of Zomboss fights and, to an extent, can't really say how the community feels about them that strongly. The other issue is that Zomboss fights are fairly short, while the script is a full one, because there is simply so much to cover. I'm just not really sure making a video behind a script is even remotely possible in my current state. Though, I do think if I really hammered at it, it could make a good enough video. This is the most likely video for me to return to, with some script touch-ups and whatnot, so keep an eye out for it. Another big video was the PvZ1 retrospective, which I don't think I'll return to without a full rewrite. This video was actually half-edited before it got completely dropped, because working on it was absolutely miserable, and I despised the way the script was written, making a video that just wandered aimlessly for way too long, covering unnecessary and uninteresting information. Not much more to say, really. Editing PvZ1 footage is just generally the worst to begin with, really, and in some videos especially, it can become very tiring to do so. This video might come out at some point, I'm really not sure. Finally, and this one is a bit more minor, I've been wanting to make a video talking about plants that buff, such as Torchwood, Peavine, Mints, you get the gist. This just hasn't really worked out. Talking about these issues with these plants is shockingly difficult to describe, I found, which has made this script become, equally, really difficult to write. This video is pretty likely to be coming in next year, but I ain't promising crap, compared to the other videos which I very much imagine will be coming out in the next year. Speaking of which, right now there are 3 videos I am actively working on, which you should expect up until about March, which I felt like disclosing now so you all have an idea on what to expect. Firstly, is a video on Steam Agents and Reflourished. I really enjoyed my time playing through the second half of this world, and felt like going in depth with the world would be fun, as well as useful to less experienced modders in the audience interested in the logic behind making a world. The script is almost done, and I just need to refine and rewrite a few sections. It's also very long, but I'm certainly looking forward to making it, and I imagine it's not likely to be a huge wait. I also have a video on Eclise in the works. I've made videos on it in the past and feel genuinely bad for them. These videos were meant for a radically different audience than they eventually received, which means that people must think my opinions on Eclise are a lot more negative than they actually are. So I want to set the record straight. Mods like Eclise are important to me, and I feel this is a big deal to cover just in general. For those who might not be as familiar with Eclise in its current state, I'll mostly know it from old videos that are, to be blunt, dumb. There's also a video I want to make covering the downfall of PvZ videos, you know what I mean. These videos are quite infamous across the community, and with Dana Ray's video in particular spreading active misinformation about individuals, which, certainly has been great. I think there's some elements of these videos that are worth discussing, both as a partial defense, but also as a partial criticism about them. Probably the spiciest of these videos, and the spiciest I have made or will ever make. Of course, there are other things going on, And you know, there's a certain plan I teased a while ago, which I feel could be nice to briefly showcase a while early on my Discord server. This is a plant I've made for my mod, Rush, and still needs some, fixing. He is very low. He'll get a dedicated video later, alongside some other major things in Rush, but for now I'm going to introduce you all to our beloved, Mr. Cake, or his actual name, Blooming Tooth. Blooming Tooth was a plant designed by a new artist added to the team semi-recently, and was animated by me with some outside help for bits and bobs. Blooming Tooth is a ground plant like spikeweed, and thus cannot be eaten by zombies. It also takes a very long time to attack, around 30 seconds or so. However, unlike most plants, these projectiles will stick around. This thing is inspired by Eclise's Burple Bloom, which is in turn inspired by Bloom Tower Defense's Spike Factory. While Burple Bloom is more directly inspired from the Spike Factory, Blooming Tooth goes in more of a mine direction. These projectiles can one-shot a basic zombie, and deals 30 slash damage to all targets in a 3-3 area, or 60 if you're comparing to standard PZ2 damage values. In Rush as well, Blooming Tooth has a wholly different purpose to either. In Rush's faster meta, Blooming Tooth actually creates a whole strategy around it, abusing the powers of stallers to stack damage and clump zombies up for a big boom. There is no real cap to the amount of damage our Blooming Tooth can do, so the installer the zombie horde just hard enough, you can absolutely wreck shop. Blooming Tooth will be unlocked in Area 2, which, for the time being, we are going to be keeping mostly secrets. There's a huge new game mechanic that's yet to be revealed, so I can't just show you the area, yet. Hopefully in the coming months you'll have something more to show regarding this mod. Either way, consider this a final video for this year, and I hope your year has been just as good, if not better, than my own. The next year on this channel is likely to be quite interesting, and I'm certainly looking forward to it. With that said, this has been Creeps for the final time in 2023, and thank you for your time. Have a good one.